Hey, Hotshots, Jess with Emotional Fire Academy here today to talk about part 3 in the Resiliency for Highly Sensitive People series, and today we're covering adaptability. This is going to be a doozy of a topic today, so make sure you watch all the way to the end, because when you really master this and understand it on a deep level and apply it to your life, you get the result of resiliency. This will completely change your perception of your own resiliency and your ability to be resilient. So, subscribe to my channel if you are a highly sensitive person, a renegade, a first responder, anyone who just wants to really rock life. Those are all of the people that I help. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel. This is Emotional Fire Academy, and that's what we do here. I give you weekly tips, tricks, and tools to up-level your life, reach your goals, and just be awesome and feel awesome, because that's what you deserve. You deserve to feel like a rock star, like a hero. So, and who am I? Oh, I'm Jess. I'm your guide on this journey. I'm a master NLP practitioner, former firefighter, and lover of all things, about the mind, about being better, about getting what you want. I'm all about that stuff. So welcome to my channel. So today, adaptability. So make sure you've checked out the other 2 videos I've put out in the series about social support and about confidence. I'll put the links above, and this one's really going to kind of build on that. And then next week we'll have our last part in the series. This will be a 4-part series. So, what is adaptability? It is your flexibility to change. I see it as resourcefulness. And I really love the concept of resourcefulness. So if you're a creative person, are you a creative person? Answer me that question. If you're like, hell yes, then you're resilient. And maybe you just didn't know it. Or maybe you do know it. And this is you're just interested in watching this video for the heck of it. But if you are creative, if you can think outside the box, if you have moments in life where you're like, wow, I just MacGyvered that, you're resilient. And here is how to bring those connections together about resourcefulness and resiliency and adaptability. So, because sometimes a change in your frame of mind is all you need, right? A change in story. When you shift from the sad story to the happy story, that's all resiliency is. And that's being adaptable. Your willingness to change between stories. How willing are you to tell a different story? I understand when you're in the thick of a really compelling, convincing story and you are determined it's the truth, it's hard to see anything outside of that. But I'm telling you, there are other stories they can use. And this is literally what you have to do when you're in the thick of that horrible story and you want to break free. Or you're trying for something and you can't get it, and that's your story, and you want to break free and get different results. This is it. This is about adaptability, resourcefulness, creativity. Because everything that happens to you in life is a resource. So when you start looking at it as a resource, then we can apply these concepts of resourcefulness. How do we use resources in the best way? Because the actual event is neutral. The things that we perceive in front of us or happening to us are neutral. There's no inherent emotion in them. We're the ones that apply the meaning, the interpretation on top of that event. And I've talked about this before. This is how you can have multiple witnesses to the same exact event, and all of them interpret it differently. All of them have a different outcome in their body, in their mentality, in their feelings, in what they saw and what they didn't see, and how they remembered it. This all has to do with the stories they were telling before they saw the event, and then because of that, then the outcomes. So when you put your own meaning on top of the event, something has happened or is about to happen, or you're looking at a goal, so something that is going to happen in the future, it's your meaning that then is putting the emotion onto it. The story that you're telling is then activating that emotion. So when you have an event that really generates a lot of emotion naturally, it just kind of something happens to you and you just have a lot of emotion come up behind it, that's actually a good thing. That's excellent, because that creates an action potential, right? It's based on all your old programming, all your old stories, all your old interpretations and meanings, and you've had this event happen, you have a lot of emotion around it. You're in the perfect place to make changes. Because that energy, that emotion is life force, it's life force. And then you can harness that and reinterpret it and apply it towards something else. You then have this action potential of actual energy that then, instead of allowing it to flow in a negative way, you can reinterpret it and apply it towards something, a goal, or shifting the situation in your mind and your frame of reference, and use it in a very resilient way. So it's good. The things that really bother us are the ones that we can do the most about, that we're naturally drawn to do the most about. It's the little things that we don't really are kind of apathetic to. Those are the ones, that we that don't naturally come with that amount of juice behind them. So remember that. Because when you want to leverage something, when you feel stuck, you're actually in a state of what's called functional fixedness. So you're looking at this event through the same story. And functional fixedness is kind of something that was a concept that I've heard before, but actually was introduced to me in a book called Stretch by Scott Sonnenschein. I apologize if I Sonnenschein. But he talks about functional fixedness from kind of more of a resource management perspective. But this is perfectly applicable to how we frame our life and the things that happen to us. Because when you're feeling that discomfort, that negative emotion, you're stuck in functional fixedness. You're only seeing this situation as one thing, right? You're like, this is how it is. This is the truth. This is the truth. And that fixedness is what causes the negative emotion. Because the minute you change a story, you're not going to feel that anymore. You're going to feel a shift in the accompanying emotion. And so when you're not feeling good about something, you're stuck in one story, functional fixedness. And in the book, Scott kind of discusses how you want to take the approach of MacGyver, right? MacGyver can take any object and then use it towards his goal, right? He can look at a stick of gum and think, oh, I'm going to use that to do, to stop a bomb, to open a door, to, I'm going to spit it in somebody's eye and take their eye, blind them momentarily so I can get away, right? MacGyver looks at things without any sense of functional fixedness. And so that creates in him this incredible adaptability and thus resiliency, right? Because he doesn't, when he gets himself into a situation, he's not like, woe is me, and he doesn't see the stick of gum laying there. He comes at it from a place of total adaptability. And that's what we want to do with how we're framing our life events, the things that happen to us. They're a resource. I'm going to say it again. They are a resource, so do something creative with it. Be a MacGyver in your own life. And here's my little... So what is this? We're going to practice some breaking your functional fixedness right now. What is this? Tell me what it is. I know in your head you're already saying the word. Yeah. So what is this if I give it to an inmate who really wants freedom? What is it then? What is this if I give it to someone who is a really talented musician? What could this be? What happens if I give it to a baby? It becomes a projectile then, right? So this is a spoon. But is it a spoon, right? It can be so many other things in so many other situations. It's just a tool. It's a tool. And it depends on the goal of the person who you give it to, of how they're going to use it. And so this is the same thing with a situation. This is your situation that you're in right now. This is your situation. Instead of just labeling it blindly as, oh yeah, that's obvious, that's a spoon. That was horrible. Somebody in my family died, or COVID or whatever your excuse, whatever your negative story is right now. I'm unemployed. I'm whatever. I feel crappy. Whatever your story is, it's the spoon. And so if you start to look at it in a different way, you will find alternative meanings, alternative frames, and you'll start to leverage that tool in a different way. Not having a job is an opportunity to work on yourself, right? You can find these alternative meanings, and a sign that you're in functional fixedness is you're going to find yourself using words like, I'll feel better when ... If I could just get past this ... When this is over ... Or when I get this goal, or when this person says yes, or whatever it is that you are chasing. There's this chasing energy to it. You don't have to chase. Everything you need is right here inside of you. You have everything you need. You have everything you need to thrive in whatever situation you're in. I guarantee you. And it's that chasing, and Scott talks about it in the book, it's that chasing attitude that makes us blind to the resources we have exactly in front of us. Exactly in front of us, in front of our noses. In front of our noses, literally. So, you want to, the chasing mentality is distancing you from your own resilience and squandering the resource that is right in front of you. It's squandering that resource because you have all this life force behind that perceived event or that goal, and you can leverage that and go in the right direction, the direction you want to go in, whether that's a simple reframing of the situation, whether that's a great idea you have, you decide to MacGyver it, right? You're just like, you know what, let's try something totally out of the box. Let's try it and see what happens, So firefighters do this all the time. When we get to the scene and there is a unique situation, let's say some small child's head is stuck in the railing of their own home. It's been stuck for hours and we have to get them out. Usually we stand in a circle and people just start throwing out ideas. We start to MacGyver the situation. Parents are great at this too. Parents are used to doing this. If you're a parent, you probably have multiple incidents you can instantly recall, and you're probably thinking of them right now where you MacGyvered the heck out of the situation and you made it work. You made it work. You brought the butter out to take the ring off, or whatever you came up with, that you transcended your functional fixedness and you found something totally unique and arbitrary to fix the situation. That's what we do on the fire scene. Like I said, we deal with the small child with his head between the rungs. We start going through ideas. We start trying stuff. It's the moving into that experimental energy of, we're going to make it work. We're going to figure this out. We're not going to leave this kid here. We're not saying like, oh, if we could just, oh my gosh, when you get out, you'll be fine. And then we leave. We don't do that. We practice extreme resilience, extreme adaptability in the situation, and we try everything that we can think of. And that's one of the keys to resiliency, is being that level of adaptable, MacGyvering that crap until you figure it out and you start heading in the direction you want. And you'll never get stuck again. And I'm just here to remind you of that. So thank you for watching. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this. Tell me a situation that you MacGyvered and you found in your own mentality that you were able to reframe the situation or figure out a way to think about it differently or leverage it and make a really negative into a really positive. Let me know. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you are a highly sensitive person who is looking to gain this type of extreme resiliency, let me help you. I have a flammable to fireproof program that does exactly that. It will put you into spaces of feeling more resilient so that you can naturally do this on your own. We practice together, and then when we're finished at the end of 3 months, you can do this on your own, and you just naturally MacGyver your way out of anything that life throws at you, right? Life throws you a lemon, and you build an empire. That's what I did with Emotional Fire Academy. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.